thoughts on my bullet points?
Transphobia is absolutely.
How so?
Because if you have an aversion to something, that is part.
And since is the aversion to the second definition of phobia? Is that it? No, I'm just asking you a question. Is an aversion to the second definition of
fear
phobia?
Or aversion.
Pardon?
Yeah, an aversion. Correct. Means you don't like it.
Oh, and that's the second definition, right? Of phobia. Listen, we're not going to get anywhere.
No, it's not the second definition. It's part of the first one. Nope. Part of the first one. Part of the same definition.
Oh, it's part of the first one. And when did an aversion to get added to the definition of phobia? Do you remember the year?
Doesn't matter. Definitions expand.
Matter.
Language expands. Language has been expanding for thousands of years.
Matter,
So that's a ridiculous
Jones.
argument. No.
I think this is just an obvious.
It matters because
there's no way you can substantiate it.
Both of us can't speak at the same time. We're not arguing. We're having a conversation.
Okay,
Civil
that's fine. Let's have a conversation. Does language expand? Yes or no?
Okay.
Language expanded for the entirety of our lives. Okay.
Does language expand? Yes. Does language change? Does language change? Does language change, Mr. Jones?
Absolutely.
How so?
What do you mean? We change dialects. We change slang words. Things that used to mean one thing don't mean that anymore.
No, we're not speaking about slang.
No, just words in general. The way they're colloquially used change all the time.
Okay, so can I say that a person who speaks Spanish is speaking French?
That's not the same.
You just said language change, Mr. Jones. I just asked you
words.
Every question that you've asked me, I've answered. Can we say that a person who used to speak Spanish, can we say that the Spanish language, Española, is no French?
I mean, if you want to, if you have that kind of political power, I'm sure you could. I don't know why you would.
Have the political power, but in a general sense, can we say that Española is no French?
I don't know what this is not analogous. So can we move to the actual
Mr.
point?
Jones, you just said that language changed.
Yes.
And the definition for language changes. So I'm asking you right now, can we say that French is no Spanish? And Spanish is no French. Yes
absolutely.
Or no?
If you had the political power to do so, absolutely, you could do that.
Listen,
I don't know why
regardless of the political power, we're not speaking about political power here. We're speaking in general terms. Because language is a general thing. Listen, Mr. Jones, we're not arguing. We're speaking in general terms. We're not speaking in the political sense, right? No, you just said that language can change and language, the definition of words can change. So I'm saying to you, is it plausible to say that no, within this moment, French is no longer French, but Spanish, or vice versa? Yes or no?
You can say whatever you want. It doesn't make it so. I don't know what the point of this is.
You don't want to argue in good faith, Mr. Jones.
No, I am, but this doesn't make any sense. This is not analogous.
You're proving me right that your arguments are baseless. Because you were in the comment section and you.
That's what I said. You're not being intellectually
But Mr. Jones,
honest.
You are not being intellectually honest because I asked you a very simple question. I asked you a very simple question that a 5-year-old could answer.
I don't know what you mean by that, though, because it doesn't make sense. I'm going to ask my son.
Come here, King. Come here, King. Can I say that Spanish is no French?
Yes, you can say that. I don't know why you would. I don't understand what you're asking.
Why no? Hold on. You didn't want to answer. I'm asking my son. Why can't I say Spanish is no French, my son?
Because they don't speak Spanish.
Okay, because people speak Spanish. Oh, because Spanish is Spanish and French is French. Okay. So, Mr. Jones, even my son, who's 8, has answered that question.
Awesome.
So I'm going to ask you again. Can I now say that French is Spanish or vice versa?
You can say whatever you want. Can we move on to the next point? Because I don't know what that has to do with
language cannot be changed.
If you say so.
Just because we want it to.
Okay, but we're talking about words and definitions, and I don't know why we went to language.
Words and
definitions have changed since the beginning of time.
Language is what creates words and definitions.
My words
But
and
Mr.
definitions change all the
Jones,
time.
Mr. Jones, language is what creates words and definitions. So if it is that we cannot change the language, then we cannot change the definition. And if
Words and
the
definitions have
definition of
always changed.
phobia,
What are you talking about? That doesn't make any sense.
but if the definition change or if it is has been altered, any altercation has to fit in with the first definition. So language does not change, Mr. Jones. Because
Absolutely it does. This is not true. What are you talking about?
Mr. Jones, listen to me. Let me explain. If phobia in its initial stages means an extreme and irrational fear, but because they wanted to make a word called T-phobia, they altered it to put an aversion to.
You don't have any way to substantiate that.
What is an aversion? Mr. Jones, we're having this civil discourse. What is an aversion, Mr. Jones?
It means that you don't prefer something, you don't like it.
Do you want me to read the exact definition? It means a dislike.
Read whatever you want.
A dislike. So, Mr. Jones, I'm extremely, right? I'm afraid of the water, right? I don't like the ocean. I don't like going in the ocean. I'm afraid that it's going to swallow me up, right? And I'm deathly afraid of small spaces, right? So, but guess what? It doesn't mean that if I'm in a small space that I may not like it, right? And I go to the beach all the time. So just because I'm afraid of the ocean doesn't mean I don't interact with the ocean. I go to the beaches, I go to the rivers, I go to the lakes. I like the smell of the ocean, the salty, oceanic smell that it has. I love the sounds of the waves, but I will not go in there. So just because I'm afraid of the ocean doesn't mean that I don't like it. So that is why T-phobia is nonsensical. It's asinine. It makes no sense. Because if phobia means an extreme and irrational fear, it doesn't mean that I dislike it. It just means that I am afraid of it. Okay. Just as though I'm afraid of the ocean, I'm not getting in the ocean, but I still put on my bathing suit and I go there and I stand there and I take cute pics. Do you understand? That is why T-phobia is a made-up ideology that was just created to shame people for calling out the delusions of the people that are perpetuating this ideology. Do you understand?
None of that's correct, but sure. So
everything
we'll go with
correct,
that for now. Yeah, none of that's correct, but we'll move on from there. So let me ask you a question. Why do you even care about trans people at all? Like, why does it bother you?
I care about people. I care about people, and
it doesn't affect your life at all. It doesn't affect your life at all.
It does affect my life because no, there are penises in my restrooms. No, there are penises.
And that would mean that you're worried about men, not women. You're worried about men if you're worried about that.
You asked me something and I'm answering.
Ma'am, you went on a literal 10-minute diatribe and I stayed quiet the whole time. Like, I ever talk to is just you.
So you don't want me to answer your questions then?
I wasn't even done speaking.
Okay, go ahead. I'm gonna stand by and listen to you, and then I'm gonna answer your question.
Sure. So if you're saying, and by the way, I'm saying, like, I'm a cisgender heterosexual male. I'm not by any means part of the queer community. I have 5 children. I've been married most of my adult life.
Oh shit!
What?
I'm sorry. There was something in my throat. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, I know what's in your throat, but you know what I'm saying? It's probably some trans nuts. But listen. You got me fucked up with your bleaching ass skin. You bleach your skin, you shitbag human being. You're shitbag. You're a shitbag human being. Go fuck yourself. Real talk.
I've not had sex in 5 years, and that is why I did not.
I hope one of your kids ends up being trans. I really do.
And that will never happen. I hope you don't get monkeypox. It's not very nice. A lot of people on the below are getting it. So I really do hope that you don't get it, Mr. Jones, because that will defeat your whole argument, and you talking about having 5 kids. I'm just saying, I pray you don't get it. It's a very serious disease that is running rampant. What is wrong with him is that I just destroyed his whole narrative. he was in the comment section bragging about his intellectual prowesses and how I'm an ignoramus and I don't have anything to back me up, right? And then he came on and I destroyed him. So he's in his feelings. So he's throwing a tantrum. That is what feminized men do. They don't like women because we have that splash. We have that good that doesn't need KY jelly. And it upsets them. Yes, he was the most unintelligent of the guests. Right, Quisha? Hey, John.
Still, while he ran, I've been trying to get in the box with that fucking clown.
He's a runner, he's a track star. He gonna run away when the facts come. You have to see with him.
Go tell him to go beg. I mean? Go tell him to go beg for some more money on TikTok. Fucking clown. That's one of them. Yo, that's the guy earlier. I think I was telling you, he's the guy earlier, right? That's pushing the agenda that teen women or teen men shouldn't reveal who they are to people.
Because he doesn't want people to know that his girlfriend has a diak.
Exactly.
That is all it is. He's you know, he's one of those below men that want to normalize TWs as being actual women because he likes women who have diaks. That's all it is.
Hey, yo, Mr. Jones, if you're still listening, I bet you $1,000 you can't prove that bullshit you was talking earlier about how trans women don't live past the age of 35. See, these are what these people do, man. They push this bullshit, these lies, this delusion, right? Oh man, it should get me so mad, bro. It should get me so fucking mad. Nothing is based off science or facts, all off